So I'll turn it to one of y'all ninjas if you guys have a question to ask.
I have one. Can I?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're the man of honor right now. Go ahead, brother.
Elijah's all the way from Australia. You're the family man. You inspired me to ask this question. Oh, there's a lady. What's your name on the couch?
My name is Eva.
Ava. Let me start with you. Can I start with this one over
You
here?
want to start over here? Yeah, sure.
Okay,
She's a doctor.
What's that?
She's a doctor.
You're a
I'm a
doctor.
doctor.
Yeah. Okay.
Doctor.
And you're the one who avoided the birth control question.
Yes, because it's like, okay, so when I heard your questions, it's like those kind of questions I ask my patients every day.
Oh, wow.
Almost.
They're very invasive.
So that's what it feels like, huh?
Yeah, it feels like my work.
Role
place.
reversal. Well, I want to ask this because I wanted to make it a little family oriented today because I think it would be funny because everybody looks like they're dressed to go to the club. I want to start with you.
We're
Do you
going
want-
to the club.
Exactly, I know. Do you want your daughter to be like you?
Yes,
Why?
because I'm the best.
What are you the best at?
Everything.
Can you name a couple?
Being kind, being helpful, being human.
Being human?
Yes.
You're the best human?
No. I'm not the best human, but I'm good at being human.
What does that even mean? You
What
what?
does it mean to
kind
you?
soul.
You're the one
I'm
who
asking
answered it,
you,
yeah.
what does that mean?
She's a beautiful woman. But,
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
yeah.
You want to go on the
Kelly's
table on
my
that one or
friend.
just?
Yeah, we'll go around
Okay.
it. Maybe you could think about that a little more because that didn't make a lot of sense.
Okay. So the question is, do you want your daughter to be like you?
Right.
Okay, and I'm assuming you mean in this
Damn.
current state where they are in life, right?
Yeah. So when they're your age, would you want them to be in the same position you're in right now?
Oh, okay.
I
What about-
love the question, by the way, and I wish I had a more thoughtful answer. But
know,
the
I'll give
short
you-
answer is yes.
Okay, if you want, since we kind of threw that on you and you went
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
I'll give you I'll go to two other
minute.
girls and then I'll come back to you. How about that,
Perfect.
right? Make
Yeah.
it a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
what
you.
about you?
I think I do, in a sense of like I want her to go like find herself. I'm 27, so I want her to be able to, go to school, experience life, put herself first. I think in that aspect I do, but as far as like where she's at 27, like if she was my age, I probably want her to a little bit further.
Further how? Family wise?
Further, like if like
Or
more
career-wise.
Different sizes,
like
yeah.
more
Yeah,
like
test it out.
business, not working for people type of thing.
Can I ask a follow up with that? Because I think it's important. So if you had a son, because like I didn't think a lot about this, but I have a nice little baby boy, and I thought a lot about like, damn, how does his mom reflect the kind of woman that I'd want him to marry? You know, the kind of woman that I'd want. So like, even if you don't think about daughter, because it might be kind of hard, like, are you the kind of woman that you'd want your son to marry? Because I ask my wife that a lot, and I think she is the kind of woman. But it's a deep question. So, like, what do you think about that?
I think I am, in a sense of like, before I was with my boyfriend, I don't think I was, but like after this year being with him, I think I've grown a lot. I think I would be somebody would marry, I guess.
Like, what are your skills, or like, what do you bring to the table as a wife?
I think I'm just very understanding. I'm loving. I'm caring.
So
to
about-
him, I guess. Well, I'm not his wife yet, but we're getting there. We're on the way.
So nothing then.
Yeah.
So did you find yourself?
What do you mean?
You said you want your daughter to find herself. Did you find yourself?
Yeah, I think so. I'm more like calm, nicer, in a sense. When I was first like in my early 20s, I was.
Heartbreaks. She belongs
Yeah, yeah,
Tyrone
that's what that
Owens.
was. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What about
survivor.
what about you? Do you want your daughter to be like you, as you are right now?
Absolutely.
Not.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For
So
sure.
yeah. Sneeko, do you want to follow up and ask for why?
What about you do you want your daughter to emulate?
I would just like her to have the same strength, as me. And I think that
Your
I
deadlift numbers? What's that?
definitely not my deadlift numbers, but just handling life, just as a single, almost 30-year-old woman trying to balance love and making money and, just finding yourself. Like, I think it's a really important age. But if my daughter was anything like me, I would be so proud of her.
You want your daughter to be single and 30?
Yeah.
In this day and age, probably.
What does that mean?
I think the dating world is so fucked up right now. And I think that she should focus on herself before getting into a relationship.
So what about skipping the dating and just getting married? Wouldn't you prefer having a daughter that was married in 30 and not single and finding herself?
It depends on the relationship. I think that building yourself as a woman, having your own bag, and like being okay being alone is more important than rushing and finding marriage.
You want your daughter to be alone and rich at 30?
I would like her to be, yeah. I mean, I don't see a lot of relationships that are successful nowadays.
Can I bump in?
Sure.
what is the point of being alone and rich? Like, what's so bad about that?
I think that company is how people become happy. And I think family is the happiest state you could be in.
Company is
I
sometimes
agree.
the clutch, and then if you're rich, hopefully you have your family to back you up on that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Would you rather your daughter have a bunch of kids or a bunch of money?
A bunch of money,
Why?
because I want them to be successful.
And what
well
happens
off.
when their daughter dies?
When my daughter's daughter dies?
When your daughter dies, yeah.
When my daughter dies?
Yeah, because she doesn't have any kids. She has a bunch of money.
I mean,
Your bloodline's over. I mean, can I ask you? Do you want your daughter to be like you?
Yeah, I think so.
Like what?
I have really good standards in men. You know, I'm not looking just to date around. I'm excited to have a family. I can't wait to have kids, you know, and I can't cook, which is like huge, but like I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to put so much into a relationship. I think that's so important.
So no, but she has some.
Well, at least there's hope.
No.
Bro, that's crazy. She has high standards of men, but can't put on high heat. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Boy, how you do that shit?
Okay.
To be fair though, I want to be honest because rather than just taking digs to the girls, get yourself a HelloFresh membership and get some ingredients and learn how to turn on a fucking stove because your boy will thank you. And guess what? You can buy those ingredients again at this place called the grocery store. They have all that shit.
Who said we don't? Yeah, I'm a great cook. I throw it down.
Hey, good for you. That's good.
Steve, anything else you wanted to ask her? She said yes, because she has high standards.
Yeah, high standards. What are the high standards that you have?
I'm just looking for somebody who's kind of at the same level, which is really hard at my age. Like I said, I kind of want something that's
What
more
level are you at?
towards, like, I don't want to just like date around just to have fun. I'm looking for a husband, like, you know, I don't want to just like be sleeping around doing all that. I'm kind of like looking for marriage soon because after 25, I'm kind of scared that it just like goes down,
So
you know,
a provider.
like, not necessarily
what's a tangible thing that you're looking for?
just somebody that who has like what I want, because I'm no, that's not what I'm saying, because if you go to an 18-year-old guy right now, he doesn't want a family, he doesn't want kids, he like, I'm almost done with school, I have a year left.
Typically date up.
yeah.
And not, I mean, I don't really have to date up in a financial aspect, you know, my parents will take care of me, but in like the age aspect, I typically do have to look up, because when men are like 25, 27, that's usually the stage they're at.
But not like always everyone has the family to take care of them. In that
Yeah, I know.
aspect
That's why
where
I'm
you
just
have
saying
to look
me.
out for yourself and make sure that you always have a career to be able to.
And I'm in school. I'm able to
Damn.
produce that. I have high GPAs. I have high test scores. Like, that's not
Oh, you're gonna make a bag
a
then. Don't worry.
concern.
Then
Don't
you're
worry
a
about anything
badass
else. You're good.
bitch. You're
yeah.
set.
But I mean, I want a family. I want, you know, like, that's in the dating realm. That's what I want.
That's beautiful.
I don't think
What's
we
the
all
oldest
do.
you would date?
Realistically, probably like 27 to 30. I feel like after that, there's like a generational gap that just things I'm not gonna understand. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a different way of life.
Dating is fake though. Honestly, if there's a guy that's like over 6 foot, has money, and he wants to marry you, you're young enough to where you would still be viable as somebody that can make a big family. And I would just take it, because everyone goes around dating for years and years and years. Honestly, you can learn how to cook in marriage, because if you love your man, you want to make him happy.
That's what I'm saying.
you
I'd
turn
be
that
more than
stove
willing
on.
to learn.
Yeah.
So you're saying she should increase the age range?
No, I would say,
that what you're saying?
well, I would say at the very least that's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Girls don't say that. She's 18, 27 to 30. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's about a 10-year age gap. She's saying, yeah, because a guy could be more established then. But a lot of girls are like, I have all the time in the world. But the truth is guys are looking for someone fertile. They're looking for someone young. They're looking for someone who has life in them. And she could probably get a good catch if she keeps it in, doesn't play the field, and actually learns a few skills. I
Or
think
like
she could
keeps it
actually play
out.
the. What?
Keeps the peens out. That's the main thing. Just don't
That's
get
what
any
I
more
meant. Don't
peens
play
than
the
you when
field.
you're young, and you'll be good.
All right.
I'm surprised to see you two nod at that answer. Right, you said you want your daughter to be single and 30, and so did you. But then you nodded when he was saying that she should just get married at 18 instead of waiting around and dating.
Because I think we've both
I
been
didn't
through
know
it. Like, we
that.
dated since we were 18, and look at us now. Like, if you find a man that loves you at 18, 20, 21, take that.
So you don't want your daughter to be like you,
I would rather her be like me than go through the trauma of dating.
which is what you did.
But do you think it was just like the wrong person? Like, you
Wait,
put
wait, wait,
yourself
wait,
in
wait,
the
wait, wait.
Stop,
Wait, wait,
Sneeko.
you just said two
Go ahead.
things that are the same thing. You said you'd rather your daughter don't go, but you did go through that.
Yeah, and I just wouldn't want her going in my same direction.
So you don't want your daughter to be like you.
I want her to be like me without going through the traumas that I went through.
So that's not you.
Bruh.
But those made me
Your
who I am
traumas
today.
made you who you are.
Today.
So
I just don't. I want her to skip over all the bullshit and just be
She been watching
successful,
too
keep
much
her head on.
He asked you earlier, do you want your daughter to be like you? You
Yeah,
said
and I
yes.
still do. Yeah.
But you just said no, a different path.
I just don't want her to make the same mistakes I did. But you said at this moment, would you want your daughter to be like you? And at this moment, yes. I
Okay,
would.
so do you want your daughter to be single and 30? Yes or no?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you want that?
Because I feel like I mean, I don't know. I just feel like she's better. Like relationships are toxic nowadays. I mean, how
toxic.
many? I'm not toxic, but how many
Single
people
30?
do you think like? I mean, really make it these days? You know what I mean?
Okay. To
Go
be
for the
fair,
fortune cookie.
dating now is terrible. Let's be honest here, for men and women. However, hypothetically, let's say he is going to ask your question, what do you prefer your daughter to have? Would you prefer her to be single and still 30?
Yes.
Okay.
Bro, she's like, fuck my daughter, bro.
No, I don't think I'm looking out for her.
You hear how
Nah,
you're
bro.
contradicting because you were agreeing that she should get married young, and then you're saying she shouldn't. She should be
I mean,
alone.
I agree with you, but I mean, it's a hard question.
It's not.
It is to me because I'm
is
basing
when
it
you're
off
a
my own life
mother.
experience, you know. And of course, you're gonna try to like direct your kids into not making the same mistakes you did, right?
So you don't want your daughter to be like you, if you don't want her to make the same mistakes.
She doesn't want her to go through everything that she's gone
I want
through
her to
because
be
she
like me
has.
right now. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm a great example. And
So-
I think
She
I would
wants
like
her to be as
right
strong as
now.
she is in this moment, but she doesn't want her to go through the tough shit that she had to
bring
get
back
down
the
to
drama,
this
bro.
point.
So she would like her to have some of the qualities that she learned from the bad things that have happened in life,
Without going
but
through the
not
bad
to end up in the same
Having to go
position you
through
are,
them.
which means you don't want her to be you. You want her to be better than you.
She doesn't
course
want
I
her to
want her
have
to
to
be
go
better than
through
me.
what she
Okay,
went
that's
through to
fair.
get
That
there.
made her.
Yeah.
I feel like the old dad here, just
That's
like
a good
bringing it
breakdown. That's a good breakdown.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It still doesn't make sense. Do you want your daughter to be married or no?
I
her.
really don't have an answer. I don't
You
really
don't know?
care. No, it's up to her.
30 years of living, you don't know this?
Who am I gonna tell to get married?
Your daughter.
But for what? It's her life. If she wants to get married, she can do it. But I'm not gonna push her to do it and force you to do it.
You don't think it's your job as a parent to tell your kids what they should do and not do?
I mean, you could always set an example, but parents are still always learning. You're always learning, even if you're a parent.
But you're 30.
And I'm not a parent.
Not yet.
I honestly wouldn't want children.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Well, I mean,
Chris.
listen,
What the
that's
hell?
her opinion.
Everyone has their own thing.
All right. I think.
What is this show?
You don't know.
I understand your perspective, but you do realize that you're contradicting yourself,
I
right?
understand that, yeah.
Okay. All right.
If your daughter was getting married, what's the ideal amount of bodies that she would have going into marriage? If you had to pick a number.
Why is that any
I
of my
think we should
business?
Hey, that's
on
another
from
question.
her.
I can ask that one next.
Yeah,
That's
to
a whole other question.
someone
Let me
else.
ask. I'll finish with his line of questioning, then we'll go to that one next.
That is a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want the people
What about you?
listening that this is why it's better to have the man leading the household because
Absolutely.
like she doesn't. It's a simple question. You want your daughter to be married. You don't even know. That's like one of the most important things that you could pass on to your children, and you have no idea what to say.
It's not that I don't have any idea what to say. It's just her life. Who am I going to dictate that?
You're her mother.
My parents didn't like make me get married and do the whole thing.
They probably should have.
Yeah.
So my father's
Why? I
important.
was almost there. You don't know my history. I was almost there and I ran multiple times.
You ran away?
Yeah.
Oh.
Why do you think I'm living in Miami?
Wait, so do you want your? I don't. Then don't say when I ask you straight up, like, do you want your daughter to be like you? Then it sounds like you don't at all. You could be honest about that. Just because you've made mistakes, you want to like admit those mistakes and give a better life for your children. Don't make them go through the same things you went through.
And I would definitely never do that if I had a daughter.
So she's not going to be like you.
All right, can we move on?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
move on.
Finally.
Blondie from Texas. Do you want your daughter to be like you?
Okay, I feel like we just hashed this out. Like, yes and no. Like, I want her to be like me moral wise, but I feel like the only reason I am who I am is because I went through what I did. I don't want her to have a brain tumor. I don't want her to go through a terrible childhood, but I want her to have the resilience and the strength that I have learned from every like circumstance that's happened in my life.
And you're talking about relationships?
Yes, relationships, everything.
So the more
Like,
peeing, the better.
no, not the more peeing, the better.
So let's say you could transfer your current conscious or knowledge to your daughter
Without having the
for
trauma.
the issues. You prefer that?
Yeah, without having the like trauma attached to it, I would like. I've even told my mom I'm scared to have kids because I don't want them to be boring, but I also don't want them to be traumatized. So I was like, I might have to like go out of town for like months at a time to give them like something interesting to like build character on, because like I feel like they'll be boring if they have zero trauma, but like I don't want them to go through anything crazy.
wait.
So I'm like, I might have to be like a trauma mom that like goes out of
In
town.
order to get that mindset, you need to go through the experience of having
Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Did everybody just hear that she wants to traumatize her kids so they're not boring? No. Do you want to have influencer kids that bad? Do you want business stars?
I don't want them to be influencers, but I want them to be like.
Who are they trying to tap dance
trauma
for?
bonding.
I don't want them to be boring, but like
Why does that matter? Like, why is that the main concern? Is that they're not going to be entertaining for random people in Texas?
not entertaining. I never said they wanted
You're
to
going to be a travel mom? You're going to take flights one way somewhere?
I'm a businesswoman. I never said I'm like gonna like be an influencer mom. I'm never gonna post my kids.
So who are they tap dancing for?
I never said tap dancing.
You said you want them to be entertaining.
Yeah, I never said tap dancing.
Okay.
Who said tap
As
dancing?
the only parent at the panel, do you want your kids to be traumatized?
No, I don't even put my baby's face on the internet. I save him from that because I think the problem with trauma is I was born in LA, raised in LA my entire life, and bad shit happens to you. I'd say if you make it out of LA without getting molested, you're doing better than 90% of the people. It's a fucked up city. So the truth of the matter is like when I look at life and I look at what happens in that city and the stuff that happens, look at Justin Bieber, y'all would know that. Good kid, nice kid, pretty kid, has a good mother or whatever, single mom, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
And he ends up going with Diddy. Look what ends up happening. She wants him to have a life. Well, it looks like he might have gotten, we'll save that word. Can we say it now? Oh, he got raped, probably.
Hey, but he's entertaining, though.
Yeah, but he's entertaining.
He can dance and sing.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, guys and girls say, hey, that's a fucking good voice. That guy knows how to sing. And the thing is I'd rather have my son be a normal guy working a 9 to 5, protecting his family, and not have been ass fucked than to say, hey, you know what, he sings well, but my son's been raped, it was worth it. That's my mentality.
Like I said, I don't want my kids to be traumatized like I was. I said,
No, I know, but that's the reality of what's going on. From LA, everyone's been fucked as a kid. So
I
my
was
point
fucked
is,
as a kid in fucking Texas. Like, it doesn't have to be
no,
LA.
I'm not talking shit on you. I'm saying my goal as a parent is to protect my kid from what I saw in Los Angeles. And even if they're boring, it's not about making them developed in an entertaining way, because that's like modern new age mentality. I'd like my son or my daughter to be traditional in terms of even if they're boring and safe can be consistent and stable for their offspring. So what we think is boring and safe is really what used to make society stable and consistent. That's what we've lost. We're all worried about being entertaining and individual and unique. But what that means is we're shitty parents and we have a fucked up offspring that we leave that has nobody to look up to. So like that's my mentality. And I'm not talking shit. You do what you want, but I'm saying your kids are gonna want you at home.
I do agree. I was just probably trying to be fucking dramatic. But that's why I said yes and no. No, but like you know what I'm saying? Like I the only reason I'm interesting and I'm fun, the only reason that I had the balls to move from Texas to Miami and start my own business and do everything that I'm doing is because of the shit that I went through.
Right.
And like, yes, in the back of my mind, it is like a fear, like, oh, my kids are like gonna be kind of weird, whatever. But like, I'm not actually gonna just like leave my kids at home for no reason.
Do you see why you need a husband though? Because women get dramatic and crazy, like you said.
And I was just being dramatic. I'm not gonna like purposely leave my children. I have a dog right now that I refuse to leave for 2 hours at a time.
But see how having a man to go back and forth with you brings
But
you.
I still am so worried about leaving my dog for 2 hours. So imagine when I have a child, how I'm gonna treat my child versus how fucking obsessed I am with my dog. Like I'm not actually gonna explain.
Men and women going back and forth balance each other. That's all I'm saying. It's like women will come up with an idea and then a man back and forth and then they bring themselves back to a balanced place. That's what I'm saying. So men and women need each other because we balance each other out.
Exactly. We just came to a mutual conclusion.
What's so funny?
I was being dramatic.
It was just you said that you wouldn't leave your dog alone for more than 2 hours, but we've been here since like 8.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. No, I was saying I was freaking out about leaving my dog for 2 hours.
Cook that fraud.
Well, okay, hold on. As a dog owner, I get what you're saying because you miss your dog, and obviously you're working and stuff, but like, oh shit, it's been 2 hours and I miss my dog.
No, I'm sitting here thinking about him right now as we speak. My little baby.
One barks, someone does it. But okay.
Oh no, he's barking. My phone's probably blowing up from my neighbors right now, being like, "Come get your baby."
So to answer your question, you do want your daughter to be like you.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
You started by saying yes and no. But
That's why I said yes and no.
I know, now you're saying no. I want everybody listening to just hear this because, like, simple stuff, if you let women follow the independent thought, they're not going to make any sense. Like, you have to lead the household completely because they're going to prioritize drama and content creation over raising a good kid.
When did I bring up content creation?
You want your kid to be traumatized so that they can make jokes.
I never said where does jokes and content creation come hand in hand?
I'm saying you don't want boring, like, that's your priorities.
But just because my kid's not boring doesn't mean I want them to be like content.
I know, it's an exaggeration. Relax.
Yeah, okay, so we're both exaggerating.
Right.
Men and women both exaggerate.
Let's go to the next. Okay, sunglasses over here. Are you on Percocet?
She has a chemical burn.
What happened? Did you go to India and the Hindus threw that at your face?
I got hand sanitizer in my eyes.
From a Hindu?
No.
Yeah.
What happened? Wait, how do you get hand sanitizer in your face?
I went to pump it in my hands and it just squirted in both my eyes.
You have terrible aim.
It just nutted in my eye. I don't know what to say. It was literally on the table.
You what? Shoot. Yo, AI hand sanitizer.
All right.
Yo, son.
So, anyway, yeah, would you want your daughter to be like you?
Not necessarily. I can't
After that
say
comment, I can see
yet.
why.
Yeah.
No? All right.
I'm still like
why-
figuring myself out. I'm still like.
What is the main reason you don't want your daughter to be like you?
Because I'm still figuring myself out. I can't really
Because of the
say.
unsurety?
I can't really say like I want her to be like me. I don't even know what I am yet. So, you know, maybe in a few years I can say yes, but I'm still young. I'm still
How old
figuring
are
out
you?
I'm 21.
Not that young.
I just turned 21.
Not that young. What do you not know about yourself? What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, just
How to
like,
use hand sanitizer?
This nigga, bro. What the fuck?
No, but besides like nutting in your eye by accident, like what do you not know about yourself? What are you still trying to figure out that you have yet to realize?
Basically, I guess like what I really want to do. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not really like set on what I want to do, so I can't.
What are you
say.
talking about? Career?
Like career-wise.
Career-wise, okay. Why not just ditch that whole thing because you can't even pump hand sanitizer and just start a family, right? If a career is your main issue,
If I can't pump the hand sanitizer, how am I supposed to push a baby out? Hell no, I'm good.
I mean, you're not going to be able to type.
You don't
and
need
do
skill.
Yeah, skill is going to be a
I've seen
issue.
labor. They make it dramatic on the movies. Literally, you just do it at home. You don't go on your back. It's a lie. It's natural. Go in a baller in water. The baby comes out in like under 40 minutes. You don't need epidurals, nothing. It's all a fucking psyop on movies to make girls not want to have kids.
Did you
There's no
have one?
screaming.
Is this from
No,
like
my
life
wife had one, and I'm
experience?
also, my background's in medicine, and I've watched many births be
Me
had.
too.
Is this how your wife had a child?
Yeah, very easy.
In your house?
bathtub?
Yeah, it's just natural with a doula.
Just
no
you and
doctors,
her?
nothing. Yeah, just a doula, just a friend, just a wet
You
nurse to help.
snipped the cord and everything?
I did it myself.
Did you
Yeah,
circumcise
I'm
yourself?
proud of you.
yeah, I
That's
actually
amazing.
did, but not the normal way. Just put a ring on.
You got a rabbi to do it?
No, we didn't, there's no cutting. You just put a ring on when they're born, and it falls off naturally.
Oh.
He did his research.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a natural way to do it that has no cutting and no pain. So, yeah, it's
Did
called
you
being
know-
smart.
Did you know a circumcision costs $500?
I didn't.
Yeah, my
Not
client
if you
told me
have
that today.
insurance.
Really? Okay, all right.
I don't know.
Okay.
You do make a good point about Hollywood making pregnancy seem terrible.
Yeah, they make it seem painful because it is painful on your back. You're not supposed to be giving birth on your back. That's an extremely, like, it's kind of like the way we sit on the toilet. I'm not going to get graphic with the
Yeah,
ladies,
you gotta,
but you
on
have
the
to
side.
squat.
So, well, there's a video on X actually that shows childbirth, but she's like on a side, like she's like slanted on the side.
Fresh
Yeah,
getting
well, the
freaky on
point
that.
is you want to be like,
I don't know why
you
it's
want
not
to be
shit,
in
bro.
water.
Well, everybody's
or you
birth
wanna
is
be like
different.
well, yes, but that's not really true. The point is they turned birth into a commodity, which made it into an industry. So they capitalize off of it. Look, it's a natural, it's a process. It's a bodily process. So it's just like your period. You don't look when you're like 10 to
Birth is like
10 to
a period?
13. You find blood in your underwear. You're gonna freak out. Now imagine if someone told you, okay, you're bleeding out of your vagina. Every time this happens, you need to go to an emergency room and you need to sit there because you're gonna have these pains in your stomach. That means your intestines are coming out through your private parts and you've got to take pain pills and take it away. You would freak out and all of a sudden we'd have these women going to the hospital for their period. But what do people tell you? Nah, it's normal. This is part of becoming a woman. You just have discharge. It's part of your life. Pregnancy is the
Who
same
said
thing. It's
ugh?
like pregnancy. You have a kid when you're 30, you go to the hospital, you need pain pills. No, it's
But
part
like
of
people
life.
get like preeclampsia, people get high blood
'Cause-
pressure.
'cause
Like,
they're
people
having-
die
they're having
giving
kids
childbirth.
too late.
People don't die starting their period, but people die in
but
childbirth.
under 19, people don't usually die giving birth to children. 40 to
But they
19
do.
biologically. they're
Nobody
able to push
dies
children
having a
out without
period, but they do
complications.
die giving birth.
When they're like 30 to 40.
Women
They're
for
too old.
thousands of years pumped out like a dozen kids each.
But
we're
yeah,
not-
and do you
we're
know how
too
many
old.
died? We don't have history books from the fucking.
It's not as
like-
bad as they say. It also has to do with a lot of our diets. We're taking a lot of vaccines nowadays, so it's a lot of the poison that we consume on
I
a
have
really
two
regular
friends
basis.
who have grown up without
you think
moms
God
because they
put us on
died
this
birthing
earth
them.
and you weren't meant to just be able to push a baby out?
Well, I have two friends who don't have a mom because they both died pumping them out. So like, I have to disagree.
How old were
that
they though? How old were they when they had the child?
Probably like 21, 22. Like they were young parents.
Damn.
Are you sure 21, 22? They didn't have other
I mean, I don't just like have it in the back of my head,
They
but I
didn't
do
have
know that
other
these two girls grew up without
pre-existing
moms.
conditions
I just
prior?
don't think it's
I
like
digress.
equal to compare starting your period with pushing out a baby.
I'm
I
just
mean-
saying that when
Nothing
God
wrong.
put us
I
onto
just
this
like
earth, you weren't
slightly
meant to
disagree.
take pills and go into a hospital room to be able to give birth and
They're
pass on
directly
life. It doesn't
connected.
make any sense. It's just not logical.
Your
Wait, what'd you
period
just
and pushing out a baby is directly biologically connected.
I just think it's like completely like
Anyway,
you're pushing out a
digress.
baby
No, no,
this
no,
big out of your
Go on.
vajayjay,
Look,
bring up a
look,
good
and you're
point.
starting a little blood
You bring up a
clot
good
for your
point.
Okay,
baby.
ladies, I mean, you're taught. Look, he's simply saying that the childbirthing process has existed a certain way for thousands upon thousands of years, which is how we've been able to propagate a society, and we didn't do it through the advent of modern medicine that we have now. So therefore, us using modern medicine nowadays is contrary to our natural biological inclination to be able to bring children
Yeah, well,
naturally.
more
and then
people
he
survive
said,
now.
and then he said that. To minimize that, the woman needs to have the child younger. And then you said, well, I know two people that died during childbirth. Though that might be true. We don't know if they had pre-existing conditions. We don't know how old they were, etc. So, but in the majority, I think what he's saying is that if the woman is young and healthy, she should be able to have children naturally without issue.
Yeah, that's it.
Correct.
I
Thank
just
you
feel
for
like it's-
adding on mine.
No, and I do agree. I do agree, but I do feel like every person is different, and I feel like yes, age is
Every person is
definitely it
different.
matters, but at this,
There's
no,
always
but
gonna
I'm
be that
serious. Like at the same time, like
What we're hearing is you're echoing the fear that's propagated by the Hollywood industry and by like when we see girls all the time complain about period cramps, that's when people transition over. You see men become women. They start to like, oh, it hurts so much. I have a period. They just want to feel like a woman by emulating the pain that they've seen online. When women talk about how childbirth is terrible, it's because there's a movie Knocked Up with Seth Rogen, you know what I'm saying, Seth Rogen. And that movie, the wife is laying down like on her back like this.
Well, rumble, man.
And she's screaming the entire time like about how terrible it is. It's like a 20-minute long scene of her like screaming and writhing in pain about how terrible pregnancy is.
You don't think it's a psyop?
And
the
of
fact
course
that
it
they're
is.
trying to make it seem like you don't think that movies are meant to be a psychological warfare on women. That's all I'm saying. They make childbirth seem scary. Why is a natural process scary? That's all
Wait,
I'm
hold on,
saying.
you're next. Hey.
well,
I'm just
as
gonna
we get older,
Just sit down and answer the question, then we'll.
like as we get older, medical conditions get passed down and down and down, and it gets worse. Like not just like older now. I'm saying like
I digress.
All right, let's
position.
get your take on this, and then because I know you want to use the bathroom real quick. Go ahead. What, do you want your daughter to be like you?
Absolutely not.
No.
I like your honesty though.
Why no?
In a way, yes. I'm a registered nurse. I got my bachelor's. I'm.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So you want her to have your same education?
I want her to have my same education and my same drive, but I also want her to move down to Miami at 22 years old and get into this crazy life down here because this is different than anywhere else in the world. And I think us that live here know that.
You were the nurse, right?
I'm the nurse.
Wait.
I'm the nurse.
What do you want your daughter to take from Miami at 22?
I don't want her to take nothing from Miami. I want her to stay the
Hell away.
hell away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why are you doing something that you don't want your daughters to repeat?
So I'm actually moving to Boca or Del Rey within the
nice.
next month to get out of Miami because I don't want to be surrounded by that anymore, and I want to continue my nursing.
What is it
career.
about Miami that you don't want your daughters to do?
I think there's a lot of people down here that do a lot of different drugs, and it's a lot of like that industry
Like
that
alcohol?
Yeah, that I feel like I just don't want them to get into.
So wait, just to clarify, so you don't want her to be like you, but then you mentioned that you want her to come here sooner?
No,
I think she meant to say she
I
doesn't
never
want
her to come here.
Oh, you don't want her to come
said she said that.
Okay.
She
You want her to
can
have your
stay
education.
in a nice area. Yeah.
So she can have your education, but not come to Miami.
Not come to Miami.
But you do know that in Delray and Boca they drink alcohol too, right?
Yeah.
I
And
do
they-
understand that, but there's other things besides alcohol that I feel like a lot
They do
of
drugs
people
up there
They
too,
do
by the
just
way.
as much
Yeah.
In Fort
blow.
Lauderdale.
I just
There's
don't
no
want my
escaping it.
child to ever fall into like
Well, then she can't come to Florida.
Like birth control.
South Florida, she can't be in then.
Exactly.
You know that, right?
Birth control, right, is what makes women go a bit crazy, tricks them into pregnancy. They end up, being attracted to beta males, lower testosterone. That's how they can lower testosterone. And women don't get upset about it.
You think?
Yeah,
That's proven true.
Yeah.
And they get fat.
But that's if they take hormones.
Yeah, hormones.
You like dad bods, don't you?
Perhaps.
she knows.
Yeah.
You're on birth control, aren't
How'd you know? Yes, I'm on birth
Yeah.
control.
Yeah, that's proof
Exactly.
that you're attracted to lower testosterone men because you're on birth control.
Really?
Yeah. Why would
Wow.
you be attracted to a dad bod?
You learn something new every day, I guess.
You like to cuddle up with the soy boy. Would you want your daughter to dress like you?
I'm okay with how I dress. I can dress a little promiscuous at times, being a nurse and also having someone that has respect for myself. I can dress a little promiscuous at times, but that's just because I'm confident in my body and who I am. If someone wants to come up to me and smack my ass. No, but like if someone wants to come up to me and like smack my ass in the middle of a festival, I will turn around and start a fight. Like I can dress the way I want, but you're not going to disrespect me and how I dress.
Right.
I hate my life.
Wait, so you don't want your daughter to dress promiscuous, but
No, my daughter can dress however she wants.
Okay, so answer like really specifically. Do you want your daughter to have her titties out?
Is that what you're saying? Have my titties out?
They are.
A little bit, but like
Do you want your daughter to do
I can
that?
see your under boob right now.
if she's okay with it, yeah, she's comfortable
looking
with
though.
that.
Are you okay with that?
If I wasn't comfortable with it, I wouldn't be wearing this shirt.
Great. Okay, you can go to the bathroom now. I want to ask you.
I think it's a cute
Do you want your daughter to be like you?
I mean, I'd like a. Sorry. All right.
Do you want her to escape? Escape life?
I like
You
this
know, a
one.
lot of people ask me why I do what I do.
What do you do?
I create people's experiences.
Spit it out. What do you do?
Escape rooms. That's what
Remember,
she
he
said
wasn't here
earlier.
when you said originally what you did.
I was in the band room.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry, sorry.
I thought you were
So-
saying prostitution. Like I didn't know.
Yeah, she built escape rooms.
Talked about
She
this.
builds and manages like an escape room,
okay.
like
That's cool.
entertainment
That's nice.
place.
It's like a fun little, non-problematic thing.
Constantly, I have so much fun every day,
Alhamdulillah.
and I make people fight and love each other, and they come out like it's
That's
like a
great.
big family.
I went to an
Team
escape room
building.
with Sonny like last week. We went to an escape room in the middle of the day.
Come to mine.
Okay,
You guys
cool.
are all invited.
How old are you?
29.
And you're 29. Are you on birth control?
Yes.
And do you want your daughter to be 29, single, and on birth control?
Yo,
I'm sorry, the question is so
real
dumb.
question. Real question. It's one of the most important questions. You got to think about your legacy, your
Oh, it's a
bloodline.
horrible question.
It's
Look,
a most important one.
Is he from the 1800s?
I'm from 2024. I'm trying to save this to your.
We'll come back to you. Tina, finish your answer.
He's
I'll come back to
definitely
you.
an
I mean-
alien.
I heard this saying that was men are happier with somebody next to them, and women are happier alone. Why?
Where'd
I
you
don't
hear
know.
that?
It's probably a woman influencer. They're all disgusting. horrible.
Jewish.
I heard this. I'm not saying.
All right.
I'm not
Who
saying
is your
everybody.
favorite influencers? This should be the question. We go to their Instagram, and the first thing is going to be them talking about cheating on their boyfriends or something.
No,
100%.
no. I truly believe in love. I wish I was still with my like.
Raise your hand if you listen to Call Her Daddy. No? Nobody?
I don't even know what that
Oh,
is.
yeah,
There you
okay.
go.
I've heard
Uh,
I love that.
So, would you want your daughter to be like you? Is the question.
Yes or no?
Why not? Why not?
But why? It's not the
Why
question. Why not? Do you want your daughter? I'm asking you specifically. You want your daughter to be 29 on birth control and single, no kids,
But
pushing 30,
every
eggs drying
partner
up.
that I've been with, they've been my best friend. I love everybody around me too.
Do you want kids?
It's okay. At least you're pretty. Don't worry.
¿Se habla español?
Yeah, I do speak.
All right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Is
But
it? Because I'm wondering if it's your
the thing
second
is that-
language.
the thing is that around me, there's so many kids. There's so many kids constantly every day. Let's say you ask a teacher, does a teacher want kids? And she's like dealing with kids every day. I have kids around me every day.
They're not yours.
Sure, they're not mine, but they do feel like mine. Whenever my family leaves,
What's
my
your name?
nephews and nieces.
What's your name?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Those are not your kids.
I know they're not my kids. I didn't give birth to them. Like how men don't give birth to them. Sure.
When they leave the escape room, they go home to their family. And then you go home and there's no family.
No, I do have a family.
You don't have your own yet. Don't you want to create your own?
I would love to.
Would you prefer your daughter works in an escape room at 30 or has a family?
I do have a family, and I have an escape room.
Their own kids, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
You want her to have kids, so you don't want your daughter to be like you.
No, why not?
What?
What is
Yeah,
blood yapping about?
you know what this question has really demonstrated well as I've been observing. It shows the intense amount of cognitive dissonance women are willing to like put themselves through, because deep down you guys know that if you actually wanted the best for your daughter, you would want her to get married as young as possible to the best man that she can.
Yeah,
However,
there's nothing wrong.
however, you guys all understand that you're not there yourselves. So it's difficult for you to admit and say, damn, well, did I optimize my situation? No. But you don't want to admit that you don't want your daughter to be in the same shoes as you, because you think in your eyes, I did well. So I don't know if you guys are seeing this right now. I'm literally looking at all your faces twerk and turn and contort in weird ways to try to rationalize why you want your daughter to be like you, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily align with what's optimal for women. I don't know if you guys are catching on to that. Probably not.
Just because I want her to not be like me doesn't want me to like. I want her to be married at my age.
That's crazy.
I kind of
Very
like.
interesting.
My mom taught me like to always be able to like fend for yourself, because if you get married to a man and he finds the next best thing, what are you going to be left with? If you're just a housewife cleaning and turning and he leaves you, what the fuck are you going to have? Nothing.
We're seeing modern advice that's going around on TikTok, even amongst like girls themselves, where they say, oh, independence is rewarded, and if you're single with money, you're good.